Welcome back to my channel. This is Quantum Visions, and in this video we're about to touch on the life and legacy of Mr. James Byrd. He was unalived in 1998 due to some unforeseen events that occurred by the hands of a racist white T-man. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe. Let's get it.
It is extremely hard to go back to Jasper. Just seeing the city limits of Jasper, Texas, the trees caving in, and seeing a long, rugged road would just bring back the memories.
One of the worst hate crimes this nation has ever seen. Byrd was kidnapped and then tied behind a pickup truck and dragged for nearly 3 miles in the East Texas city of Jasper, all because he was black.
The legacy of a gruesome hate.
This is stuff I be talking about, man. This is stuff I be talking about. They had a movie about him too, and in the movie, they show pretty much all of the autopsy photos. They showed the area where it occurred, how he even was unalive. Let's continue.
Still haunts this small Texas town.
Their lives changed forever on June 7th, the day of Byrd's murder.
There are not words to describe just how bad this was.
We learned that there was a great deal of prejudice in our community that we kind of swept under the rug.
And it changed one family forever.
This was 23 years ago, but it still seemed like yesterday.
This generation, they don't know about James Byrd Jr., the black man that was dragged behind a pickup truck.
This is, unfortunately, this is nothing new. This is something that we've lived throughout the entire time we have been in this country. And we can't say it enough. We can't scream it enough. We can't rally enough. And it seems as though no matter how much that we do, it never stops. And someone has to step forward outside of it being black people. Some of you other people, some of you other races need to step up and say, this needs to stop, or we're going to stop doing this. Because no matter what we do and what we say, it's never going to come to fruition. Okay, they're never going to stop doing something because we're black. We're not seen as a full person in this country. So, of course, they're not going to listen to us. But all of you people who say y'all were friends and you got black friends and all of that, some of y'all need to come up to the podium and say something or do something that's going to cause these people to stop doing these acts to us. Let's continue.
I would describe my dad as witty, the life of the party, and very free-spirited. The day before my dad was brutally murdered, he wasn't himself. I don't know if he felt something.
I said this in one of the videos that most people, it was in the XXX video that I posted on my TikTok. And I was saying, and I showed the video of him throughout the time before he was unalived at the bike shop and when he was in the bank and all of that, and how he just had a demeanor about him that it seemed as though he knew that something was about to happen to him that was going to be irreversible. And what she's saying, it makes sense. And I'm sure a lot of people felt this before the departure. Let's continue.
I was actually in basic training, and my sergeants woke me up and told me, I had a phone call. It was pretty important.
The phone rang and I heard my sister just scream. When I heard her scream, she hit the wall and she said, "Daddy."
It's something you don't want to never get a phone call for, I tell you like that.
On a Saturday night in June 1998, James Byrd Jr. caught a ride with 3 white men in Jasper, Texas. They drove him down a dark country road, beat him, then chained him alive to a pickup truck and dragged his body for 3 miles.
Damn.
Until he was decapitated.
3 miles? That's long. 3 miles? To be dragging a person by a chain for 3 miles. That's about 15 to 16,000 feet. If that man was 5 feet, if you divide, come on, man. Come on, man. 3 miles? Then he was decapitated. Let's continue, bro. This is...
A black boy found the body on his way to church, and he called the sheriff's department because it was outside of the city limits.
The sheriff immediately called the FBI in for backup, but it didn't take long for the news to spread through town.
He took the ministers out there and showed us, and we saw where the teeth were and where the baseball cap was and where the arm and the head were, and it was horrible. He wanted us to know as much as he knew so that we could tell our people.
Are you a white supremacist, sir? Are you a white supremacist?
The day after the murder, police arrested John William King, Russell Brewer, and Sean Allen Berry.
So this is just another example of how they treat us like they did Rasheem Carter. He said it was 2 to 3 white trucks with full of white men in it chasing him down, and the same thing happened to this brother. It could have been whatever pickup truck, but it was filled with YT people, okay, men to be exact. This is crazy. You don't even hear about this story like that. You don't hear about this story. And if it wasn't for some information that I've seen over the weekend, I wouldn't even know about this story. I thank God for those men bringing this information out so that I can be able to tell y'all about it. Let's continue.
I believe that Bill King wanted to start a KKK group in this community and needed to do something phenomenal, earth-shattering, because Bill was a brilliant kid, but he was evil.
Jasper, Texas. Probably a little small town. Everybody knew
Jasper.
everybody.
There was not a lot of hard news there. There was not a lot of controversy there.
Jayla.
It had a large population of African Americans living in Jasper, so it would have been the last place in East Texas that I would have thought this would happen.
Over the last 2 decades, reporter Angel San Juan covered how the town of Jasper has tried to move on from the tragedy.
The town was horrified, and from the beginning, it was important for Jasper to say that, hey, we're not all like that.
I get that they were all terrified and all of that, but where did they learn what they just did to this brother? Where did they learn that from? It had to come from something in the water, right? Somebody has to be teaching you. Nobody is going to just wake up in the morning and say, oh, I'm going to do this to this person just because they look like this. Nobody does that. That's taught. It's possibly be genetically transferred throughout their genes. Because you do something over and over and over again, it becomes a part of you. So the hate that you would have for a person is going to translate through your genes. And then you're going to pass on that hate generation after generation after generation. Just like we pass on our postpartum depression and all of this stuff that we pass down through generation from what they did to us. They pass it down the exact same stuff on the opposite end. The hate that they have for us through generation and generation. I believe that.
This is Klan country, has been Klan country, and will be Klan country.
So they got the KKK out there just chilling, doing their thing. He even got his face covered all the way up. He just got his head covered. So I'm pretty sure everybody out there know him.
From now on.
The Klan decided to come in. The new Black Panthers decided to come in.
Authorities are facing their greatest challenge controlling the situation now when the Klan is trying to leave the scene and black militia groups are trying to confront them.
But what they did is the local folks, they stayed away. The ministers in Jasper of all faiths came together and they led the community.
We need prayer for healing
and we want everyone, black, white, Hispanic, everyone.
We learned that there was a great deal of prejudice in our community that we kind of swept under the rug.
And not everyone in the town wanted to face that reality.
There were a few people that would almost try to blame Mr. Byrd. No one deserves to die that way.
What? So wait, what could have been the cause? Like what could he have done to cause somebody to drag him by a chain, by a moving vehicle for 3 miles? And who knows how fast it was going? What could have caused him to anger them so much that they would do that? Since everybody always victim blaming. Come on, man.
We weren't going to change people by arguing. We were going to change them by how we lived our lives.
You can still see the tree line that divided the white part from the black cemetery.
Jasper City Cemetery was still segregated. It was divided. There was a white side and a black side.
And we took down the fence, and for us it was very, very meaningful.
No, it's not. Like that, just because you took a fence down, that don't mean that the people in the area are not gonna feel a certain way about it. They're gonna feel like they're still gonna keep their segregation going, and they're gonna make sure that they keep their hate flowing through their veins, and that's just the way it is. Just because you took a fence down, that don't mean they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna bury my mother on the black side. No.
Actually see that justice is done, then I believe only then will we begin to heal here in Jasper.
John William King became the first white man in Texas history to be sentenced to death for killing a black man.
I actually witnessed his execution. He literally just went to sleep, and you think of James Byrd Jr.'s death. He committed the crime, yet he just went to sleep, and James Byrd Jr. just struggled to the very end.
Russell Brewer was sentenced and executed as well, and Sean Allen Berry is still serving life in prison.
Good morning, Sean.
When I found out that my dad was brutally killed by 3 white supremacists, I was in denial. I was numb. I was 16 years old, so love and forgiveness was no part of my thought process at that moment.
Right. I mean,
I was fighting
there. Everybody wants you to forgive. I get it causes some type of a peace, but when you constantly are doing something to a group of people, you cannot expect for them to just automatically forgive you just because you're saying I'm sorry, like Dylan Roof did. Like no. I'm sorry. There's just some things that are unforgivable. And a lot of people, they all do that with a regular thing in life. Somebody lied to you or something like that. You say, oh, that's unforgivable. I ain't going to never forgive them for it. We not going to be friends. But you're going to tell me that I got to forgive somebody else for killing my people constantly? No.
It killed my old man. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to remain in the service after that. James Byrd did what he wanted to do. You know, he was that type of person. I take after him a lot. Smart, intelligent, charismatic. At the end of the day, you can't turn into the hater. You know, I'm just being honest with you. It's not a happy life.
I get it.
In 2009,
I 1000% get what he's saying about, you know, just because I'm not saying I hate you. I'm just saying that I can't trust you. I can't trust you as far as I could throw you, because all your track record proves to me that if you find something that you don't like about me, I can be unalived by you, just like that. And that's just the way it is. So I'm not saying I hate you. I'm not saying I'm about to come and do something bad to you, but you can't come to the barbecue. I'm not inviting you anywhere. You're not going to get any of those outside of business friendships unless it's just so happen to be that we meet eye to eye and we agree on everything. Other than that, I'm sorry. No, it's just not going to happen.
President Barack Obama signed a hate crimes law named after James Byrd Jr.
We will strengthen the protections against crimes based on the color of your skin, the faith in your heart, or the place of your birth.
23 years later, I still get angry, but it's how you channel your anger, and I choose to channel it in a positive manner. So this is a journey for me.
So she became a police officer, which is wonderful.
My dad did not get killed at the hands of a police officer, but in today's world, that is what we're seeing.
Yep.
We're seeing a lot of brutality by the hands of officers.
Yep.
The murder of George Floyd, it was a challenging point for me to put on my uniform. Just the disappointment that our country is still enduring racism in the magnitude that it is. I want to be that officer, if nothing else, just be there in solidarity, be there as, hey, you know, I know what you're going through.
I thank you for
George
that.
Floyds do we gotta be? You know, how many James Byrds do we gotta be? So we gotta start back loving each other. It don't make no sense.
Like, how many will it be? Like, it's been hundreds. It's been millions at this point. They can pull up however many numbers they want to pull up and say, oh, it was 500 or whatever. No, they've killed millions of us over the years, and there's just another notch under their belt. Another George Floyd, another James Byrd, another Rasheem Carter. Whether it's the police or any type of WS, white supremacist. It angers me because I understand what's going on. It's not angering me to the point to where I'm going to lose it and go and grab a firearm and do some harm to somebody. No. It angers me to the point to where, like I said earlier, I can't trust you like that. It's just not something that I am capable of doing based off of your resume. Your resume does not allow for me to trust you. And if you don't like it, oh well. But I have to protect and provide for my family. And in doing so, I have to make sure that I understand the people that are around me, because Rasheem Carter was just a few months ago. George Floyd was just a year or so ago. So, I mean, if you can't understand my plight, then that's on you. But if you want to see more videos like this, hit the like and subscribe. Don't forget to click the notification bell if you want to get more videos like this. Let's get it.